You're with Tunisia Ali with Butterfly Transformations. If you like me, please share the video and subscribe. Even if there's a smidgen of dendrite that you get from this video, please share it, pass it along. Today we're talking about the 10 ways that we block abundance in our life. I love talking about this topic. You know why? Because I am of the belief that abundance, wealth, prosperity, goodness, joy, bliss, healing, feeling of completion, highest levels of love are constantly on broadcast to us all day long, 24/7. Okay, throughout the entirety of our existence. Actually, that is our ground state. In perfect harmony, when we're in perfect harmony, in perfect balance, in perfect alignment, that's our ground state. So we have to ask ourselves, why the hell are we not experiencing this? If this is our freaking ground state, what the hell? I didn't get the memo, right? So I like to talk to people about just some of the very common things that we do on a regular basis that block that abundance from us, or keep us, or put us in resistance to the flow that's constantly coming into our lives on a regular basis. The first thing is not understanding our true nature. You have to understand who you are, and you have to be able to grasp the enormity of who you are as a spiritual being. This body is just a shell. It's just something that you came through here in as a vehicle to get through to experience the wonderment of this lovely, beautiful paradise that we're in. But you have the ability and the power to create on command, and you actually do that on a regular basis without realizing it, but you don't wait for the outcome to present itself before you send a counter signal. So you've got to know who you really are, that you are connected, that your ground state is one that entitles you to abundance. You've got to know that you are divine, and that this is just one stop on the path to all the other experiences that you're going to have as a part of this cosmic consciousness. So that's really important. Until you really step in and own who you are, then you'll continue to think that you're a victim. You'll continue to think that you're an underling. You'll continue to be at the mercy of someone else, and you'll continually be wrapped up in a mindset of just sheer powerlessness. So that's really, really important. The other thing is an awareness of what your beliefs really are, because it's our beliefs that are embedded in our subconscious that actually govern our lives. So when we are not aware of our beliefs, then we don't really know why we are responding to life the way that we are. So you have to do a little bit of digging. You got to do a little excavating here, because your beliefs, the things that you hold near and dear, which really are a function of the thoughts that you've had constantly, eventually they become embedded as beliefs, and they work on autopilot. They have an energy, the subconscious takes them on as our faithful servant, and it just makes sure that it produces the reality that is strictly based on your beliefs. So understanding your beliefs. Then we got to go a step further to number 3 and say that recognizing or failing to recognize that your beliefs are inherited. Most of them didn't come from you. The ones that really were the beginning of your setback, the one that you're still suffering from now, suffering the consequences of now. Your beliefs were inherited. They were inherited by the dysfunctional belief systems that your parents had, by social conditioning, by the authority figures, institutions, media, and everybody else who bought in to the matrix. Passed these things on to you, and you inherited these beliefs. And failing to realize that they're not yours and embracing them as truth is problematic as well. It sets you apart from the understanding that those beliefs have nothing to do with how the universe works. Those beliefs have absolutely nothing to do with how the universe works. So it behooves you to find out actually what are the spiritual and energetic principles that govern this universe. And I can help you with that at some point. through coaching. Anyway, number 4, negative emotions. Negative emotions. Negative emotions. Hate, anger, worry, stress, guilt, shame, resentment, and the list goes on and on and on. Any emotion that does not make you feel like $1 million is one that you need to get rid of, because the first thing it does is send out a counter frequency that tells all of that abundance, wait, stop. We can't take anymore. We don't want any more. We need to experience the pain of what we're dealing with. Right now, we need to stand in our pain. Okay, that's what negative emotions do. They put up a big stop sign and they tell the universe, please send me more of that. I need to suffer. Send me more of that. So the better that you can get with controlling your emotions, which means you have to control your thoughts, because your thoughts actually are what give rise to the emotions that you feel. So the better that you are at controlling your emotions and managing your emotions and learning how to bounce back from negative emotions when they do come, or they do emanate from a situation that you're involved in, the better off you're going to be. Okay, number 5, failing to take personal responsibility for what you've already created. Look at the life around you. You have created everything in your life. Okay, from the table you sit at, to the children that you've raised, to the job that you are at, everything that you see in your life, you had a role in co-creating it, and you have a role in maintaining the status quo. Only you can change it. You've got to take the first step. So being able to survey your creations and knowing that nothing has been inflicted on you, you are not a victim. You've been in the driver's seat, actually. If there is something in your life that you don't like, then you have to change it. But failing to realize and take stock of your creations is a major impediment to the flow of abundance. Because if you don't accept responsibility for what you created, how are you going to create the good stuff? If you don't look at the bad stuff that you created and then try to understand how you created those things so that you don't make those same mistakes again. So that's kind of important, right? Feelings of worthlessness. When you don't feel that you're good enough, you naturally feel that you don't deserve or that you aren't deserving, and somehow you feel inferior. You suffer from an inferiority complex. These things don't do anything except reaffirm one another in a perpetual cycle of worthlessness, which is a big thing in keeping abundance from you. You have to feel worthy. If the universe wants to give you something because of your purity and the fact that you're a divine being yourself, and you don't realize that, and you think that that your sense of worth is based on how somebody else sees you, or that it's anything other than the fact that we were born perfect, you push those things away. Okay, how can you receive abundance, whether it's wealth, money, love, if you don't feel that you deserve it? The feelings of not deserving it are what's actually pushing it away. So you got to dig in there, and you got to get at your feelings of worthlessness, and you got to go in and you have to self-correct. Okay, seriously. Also, the conscious looping of these thoughts of limit and lack that are constantly being broadcast, either coming from us or just floating around in our conscious mind, because we're so used to just having these kinds of thoughts be there all the time. If 70%, not even 70%, they say we have something like 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day, right? If we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day, and over 90% of those thoughts are crap in the past, or they're redundant or repetitive of thoughts that we've had before, just imagine the sheer fortitude and mindfulness and conscious awareness that you need to have to start pulling out the roots of some of that crap that's in there. So those thoughts of limitation that I'm talking about, I can't do this because I'm Black or African American or Indian or I'm an immigrant, or because I'm white I can't do this, or I'm poor, or whatever the story is, whatever your narrative is that you affirm each and every day when you get up. Because remember, when you wake up, you have to connect with that familiar feeling of whatever the dysfunction is. You need to connect with it in order to feel normal. So whatever it is that you're telling yourself, day in and day out and day in, those thoughts of limit, that scarcity thinking is a major impediment to you being able to receive the flow. Receive the flow of the abundance that's constantly coming through to you. The fear factor. The fear factor is major. You know why? Because if we're spiritual beings and we can create whatever we want to create, and the sky is really the limit. And there's some things, folks, let me tell you, there's some studies being done out there by some people. There's some things that people are creating that you may have no idea of. So when I say you can create whatever you want to create, I mean that. And the degree to which you can create is the degree, it has a lot to do with the degree to which you believe. But this whole fear factor negates who you actually are. When you have fear, you're afraid to leave familiar territory. You're afraid to leap out into the unknown. And we all deal with this. But we have to become aware of it, and we have to rise up. We have to rise up, and we have to remember who we are, and we have to remember that we have an entire legion of help out there just waiting for us to take that leap into the field of unknown possibilities where everything is created, where we can create until we just get tired of creating, which we never will get tired of. So that fear factor keeps people steeped in the same nonsense day after day. It keeps them at the same jobs that they're not happy with. It keeps them in the same homes with the mates that they're not happy with. Being afraid is one of the number one things, because so much emotion is involved in fear. Fear is the opposite of love, of the love frequency. So it is almost, if not the lowest, one of the lowest. I believe it is the lowest frequency out there. So being aware of that and trying to understand that fear is not real. Fear is an illusion. And trying to be mindful of when fear is taking over your life is very, very serious. Number 9, people. People, whether they're energy vampires, whether they're people who are just negative, people around you influence your vibration. Your energy, like your time and your financial assets, are a finite resource in a manner of speaking, which means you have to be selective about who you give your energy to, because these jokers running around out here who are not trying to self-develop, they ain't trying to do nothing worthwhile. You're giving these people your energy, and you need your energy for yourself. You have to give your energy out where you can get more in return. So people, it can be people, situations, places you go, things that sap your energy and drain you. When you leave those spaces, you feel tired and worn out. That means your energy for manifesting is not going to be there. That means somehow those people have caused you or created a space that has set up resistance to the inflow of something that is way more energizing. So you have to shed those people. You have to shake them off. You have to get them out of your space. You have to find a way to emotionally detach, okay? Oh, that's my lovely dog. She decided she didn't want to be quiet anymore. Okay. Last but not least, number 10, Albie, please. Albie, number 10. Albie! Oh my goodness, I have 2 children in my yard. And she is bored. Anyway, we're going to try to talk over this. Or maybe I should pause the video and then I'll come back and do it. Albie? 2 little darling little kids. Come here, boo-boo. The thing is, she's acting vicious, but she's really not. She's perfectly harmless. If those kids came in here, she would lay down. Believe you me. She is not up to doing anything. Okay, number 10. Let me see if I can get it in. is failing to see the abundance that's actually around you, which really is gratitude. It's gratitude, but it's a step further. Failing to see all of the examples of the beauty and the magnificence and the love and the healing and just the perfection around you. Failing to be able to look at life from a place of expansion and see that really all is well and that life is perfect and everything is going exactly as it's supposed to be present in the moment and really be a witness to this wonderful creation that you are a part of. That is like so big. It's so big. It's the quickest way to come into recognition of that is one of the fastest ways to actually lift your vibration up and to bring the abundance flow in or the abundance vibration in. Being able to see the reality of the abundance that is already in your life, even if you have to sit somewhere and write it down, or if you have to go out and look at people in love, look at people who are playing sports, who have all fours, look at the food that you have in your home. There's examples of abundance all around you. All of life is thriving. So why are you not thriving? This is Tunisia Ali with Butterfly Transformations. You can contact me at butterflytransformations.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.